We had been married for 5 years when the call came. Our daughter, Lily, had been in a car accident and needed emergency surgery. In the sterile, terrifyingly white corridor of the hospital, I pleaded with my husband, Julian. He was a celebrated surgeon, a master of his craft, the only one I trusted with our daughter's life. But he was handing the scalpel to his protégé, his favorite junior colleague, Luna. "She'll just be practicing," he said, his voice cold and devoid of emotion. "I am the child's father, and I am the chief of surgery. I will assume all liability." "Liability? Julian, this is our daughter's life," I cried, grabbing his arm. "What if something goes wrong? You can't let her do this." Ignoring my frantic sobs, he motioned for the nurses to push Lily's gurney toward the operating room. Luna, standing beside him, gave me a brilliant, sickeningly sweet smile. "Don't you worry, Claire. I'll take good care of her." "Why is she here?" I shrieked, a cold dread washing over me. "Julian, you're the lead surgeon. You're supposed to be the one operating." He looked at me as if I were a stranger. "Don't be irrational. Dr. Luna is Lily's attending physician for this procedure. You know she had a major malpractice suit last month. A patient died on her table." My voice was raw with panic. "And you know what she is to us. You're letting your mistress operate on our daughter?" The slap was sharp and sudden, my head snapping to the side. "That's enough," Julian hissed, his face a mask of fury. "What is wrong with you? My relationship with Luna is professional. I see her as a younger sister. If you're going to make a scene, get out of my hospital." Disbelief washed over the stinging pain in my cheek. "You hit me? You hit me for her?" Tears streamed down my face. "That is our child, Julian. Our Lily. How can you entrust her to a butcher like that?" I clung to his sleeve, my knees weak. "I'm begging you, Julian. Please. You have to do the surgery. Luna hates me. She won't save our daughter, she'll let her die just to hurt me." He yanked his arm away, disgust clear in his eyes. "Are you done with your paranoid fantasies? I trust Dr. Luna's skills. The surgery is starting now. Don't you touch my daughter," I screamed, shoving Luna away from the gurney. She stumbled, and Julian instantly rushed to steady her. With a swift motion, he kicked out with his long leg, sending me flying. A strangled gasp escaped my lips as my back slammed into the wall. I swallowed the coppery taste of blood, my body screaming in protest. "You can beat me to death today," I choked out, "but I will not let Luna inside that room." I crawled forward, grabbing his leg, my vision blurred by tears. "Julian, just trust me this one time. Please, just this once." He kicked me away again, his voice laced with impatience. "I'm going into surgery. Don't touch me." A wave of nausea rolled through me, it felt as if my organs had been rearranged. Julian's expression was thunderous. Luna, nestled against his side, began to weep prettily. "Claire, I know you resent me. But I have a medical doctorate. You can't hold it against me just because Julian is fond of me. This is a disrespect to the medical profession, a desecration of this hospital." She shot a blushing glance at Julian. "Dr. Jiang is simply a man I admire deeply." "You think I believe that, Venom?" I spat, my voice trembling with rage. "You vile woman. If you harm my daughter, I will haunt you from my grave." Julian wrapped a comforting arm around her. "It's all right, Luna. I believe you." He turned his cold gaze on me. "Claire, are you trying to start a medical dispute? I will not allow her to operate on my child." Julian slowly pulled off his sterile gloves. "If Dr. Luna isn't performing this surgery, then neither am I." He looked at a nurse. "Take the patient back to her room. The surgery is cancelled." "Are you insane?" I scrambled to my feet, grabbing his lab coat. "That's our daughter in there. Our baby. Are you going to let her die just for this woman?" My tears finally broke through Lily's pain-filled haze. "Mommy," she whimpered, her face pale, "I'm scared." I let go of him and rushed to her side. "I don't agree to this." The hospital staff looked on, bewildered. Dr. Jiang, she is your daughter, after all. Perhaps? If Dr. Luna cannot be the lead surgeon, I will not participate, Julian stated flatly. Lily is my daughter. I have the right to decide who operates on her. Now, proceed with the surgery and remove the disruptive family member. No. I screamed as several staff members began to drag me away. I clawed at the polished floor, my nails scraping against the linoleum. I couldn't leave. I couldn't hand Lily over to that monster. As they pulled me back, I saw Luna shoot me a look of pure, triumphant mockery. Rage boiled in my blood. You bitch. A sharp, agonizing pain shot through my hand. Julian had stepped on it, grinding his heel into my knuckles. The nurses gasped. Dr. Jiang, this isn't right. He crouched down, putting his full weight on my hand. This is a family matter, he said, his voice low and menacing. His eyes locked on mine. Don't push me, Claire. The pain was blinding. Julian, please, I sobbed, I'm not lying. She can't do this. She hates me. She won't try to save Lily. He looked at me with utter revulsion, as if I were something vile he'd found on the bottom of his shoe. You always were a talented liar. Claire. He stood up and delivered a swift, hard kick to my chest. A burst of pain exploded behind my ribs, and my body was thrown backward. Pfft. I coughed, a spray of blood landing on the floor. No, I gasped, the single thought consuming me. My daughter could not be left with Luna. I started to crawl forward again, my voice a broken whisper. Please. I beg you. A few interns rushed to pull me away. Ma'am, we can't delay any longer. Lily is fading. My eyes snapped to the gurney. My daughter's face was ashen, and a dark, crimson stain was spreading rapidly across her blanket. My fight was over. Defeated, I signed the consent form with a trembling hand, tears streaming down my face. Julian. You have to save our daughter. You must. He said nothing. Behind him, Luna gave me a playful wink. Don't you worry, Claire. She's in good hands. My heart sank as the heavy doors of the operating room swung shut. I didn't trust Luna's skills for a second. We were in medical school together, I knew exactly how she operated. Every paper she published, every accolade she received, had been meticulously edited and polished by Julian. All I could do now was pray that he had a shred of conscience left. Inside the OR, panic was setting in. Dr. Luna, you can't suture yet. The foreign object hasn't been fully removed, an intern exclaimed. Dr. Luna. Your technique is all wrong. Without looking up, Luna snapped, Are you the doctor, or am I? Say another word and I'll make sure Julian fails every last one of you in your internships. The interns fell silent, forced to continue. Her vitals are dropping fast, the anesthesiologist shouted. Heart rate is crashing. Get the defibrillator, now. Luna froze, the scalpel shaking in her hand. The anesthesiologist shoved her aside as an intern quickly took over, beginning chest compressions. Suddenly, Julian's cold voice cut through the chaos. What do you think you're doing? He pulled Luna behind him protectively. None of you are authorized to perform this surgery. The medical staff exchanged confused, horrified glances. One intern finally spoke up, his voice shaking. Dr. Jiang, with all due respect, that is your daughter on the table. Julian's gaze softened as he looked down at Luna. I have faith in Dr. Luna's abilities. I will take full responsibility for any outcome. If any of you interfere, I, as her father, will hold you legally accountable. He turned back to Luna, his voice gentle. It's all right. I'm here. I'll guide you. Luna, trembling, stepped back to the table. Step by painful step, she followed Julian's instructions, her hands shaking so badly that the anesthesiologist simply shook his head in despair. When the surgery was finally over, Luna was the first to exit. I lunged at her, my eyes bloodshot. How is she? How is my daughter? Luna feigned a startled jump, pouting at Julian as he emerged behind her. See? Claire still doesn't trust my skills. Julian removed his mask, his expression unreadable. Ignore her. Claire, Lily's surgery was a success. Now, I'm taking Luna to an academic conference. It's very important for her career. Do not disturb us. I barely heard them leave, my entire being focused on the closed doors. Doctor, why isn't my daughter out yet? I cried, pressing my face against the cool glass of the door. Inside, I could see a circle of interns standing helplessly around the operating table. Suddenly, the piercing shriek of a flatline alarm sliced through the air. My legs gave out from under me. How could this happen? Julian. I fumbled for my phone. Julian has to come back. Only he can save her now. I dialed his number. He answered, his voice thick with annoyance. Claire, there's a limit to your jealousy. Luna already operated on Lily despite your accusations. What more do you want? No. Julian, it's not. Stop calling me. Can't you be reasonable for once? Lily will die without you. I screamed into the phone. There was a pause, and then his voice came back, laced with a cruelty that froze my blood. Then let her die. The line went dead. My heart seized in my chest, an icy chill spreading through my veins. His own child. How could he say such a thing? I called again and again, each call going straight to voicemail until finally, the dreaded "this number is no longer in service" message confirmed he had blocked me. An emergency announcement crackled over the hospital's PA system, summoning all available surgeons. I fell to my knees, bowing my head to the floor as doctors rushed past me into the OR. Save my daughter, I begged, my voice hoarse. Please, save her. A nurse gently pulled me aside. The doctors will do their best. You have to have faith. My world was collapsing. I sobbed uncontrollably, a primal grief tearing me apart. If I could, I would trade places with her in a heartbeat. Then, a name surfaced from the depths of my memory. With trembling fingers, I dialed a number I hadn't called in years. Dr. Owen? Can you come to City First Hospital right now? It's my daughter. There was a moment of silence on the other end. Claire? Owen was my last hope. The head of surgery at City Second Hospital, his skills were on par with Julian's. It's me, I choked out. My daughter is in the OR. They're trying to save her. Where's Julian? He asked. I was silent for a moment. He's with Luna. I'm on my way. Owen arrived in what felt like minutes, rushing straight into the operating room. 2 hours later, he emerged, looking exhausted but calm. The surgery was a success. He then frowned, his brow furrowing. Who was the last surgeon in there? The work was unbelievably unprofessional. An intern standing nearby spoke up, his voice filled with indignation. It was Dr. Luna. Owen looked confused. Wasn't her license suspended? Dr. Jiang sponsored her. Owen's voice rose in disbelief. He used his own daughter's surgery to sponsor another woman? Not wanting to air our dirty laundry any further, I interrupted. Dr. Owen, thank you. Thank you so much. Tears welled in my eyes as I looked at my daughter, pale and still in her hospital bed. I'm so sorry, baby, I whispered. It's all Mommy's fault. Lily was moved to the ICU. She was out of immediate danger but still under observation. I sent Julian another message, Lily needs her father. His reply was instantaneous and cold, the surgery is done. Are you still not going to let it go? I checked her chart. It was a minor issue, nothing serious. Furious, I called him. Our daughter almost died on that table, do you understand me? For your precious Luna, you nearly killed our child. Julian scoffed. Claire, you've become completely irrational. Are you really questioning my judgment? You're so desperate for attention you're willing to curse your own daughter. I was wrong about you. In the background, I heard a soft, feminine voice. Julian, honey, I'm out of the shower. He hung up abruptly. I stared at the blank screen, tears of rage and sorrow blurring my vision. still as pathetic as ever. I looked up to see Owen standing beside me. Even after having a child, you haven't changed a bit, he said mockingly. Though I suppose it's a good thing you're not dumber for it. You never had much sense to begin with. I didn't mind his sarcasm. He had saved my daughter's life. I stood and bowed deeply. Owen, thank you. Truly. He looked slightly uncomfortable. Don't thank me. This was a freelance job. My rates are very high. I knew this was just his way. A small smile touched my lips. No matter what, I am so grateful. Instead of thanking me, you should go get your head examined. He handed me a business card for a neurology specialist. I knew he was teasing me about my past. Owen had pursued me in medical school, but I only had eyes for Julian. I was a fool, completely blinded by what I thought was love. I brought Julian breakfast, washed his clothes, and even begged him not to break up with me in front of his entire dormitory. Back then, I thought it was passionate, rebellious love. Looking back now, the shame was overwhelming. Owen, I said, my voice firm, I need you to help me with something. He crossed his arms. Don't tell me you want me to drag your husband out of his lover's arms and bring him back to you. I met his gaze, my own eyes hard and clear for the first time in years. No, I said, shaking my head. I want a divorce. He let out a short, cynical laugh. You'd never go through with it. I looked towards my daughter's room. I was a fool before. I thought love was enough to hold this family together. I know better now. If the only father I could give my daughter was one who would willingly harm her, then she was better off without one. A friend from medical school sent me a video from the academic conference. In it, a handsome couple was nestled together, the picture of adoration. I would have found it sweet if the man hadn't been my husband. Claire, isn't that your husband? My friend texted. They've been inseparable the whole time. It's more like a nightclub than a conference. They were kissing in front of everyone yesterday. A lot of our old classmates are here, they all know he's married to you. A sharp pain lanced through my chest. It is. Oh. Then who's the woman with him? Luna. My friend gasped. The academic socialite? What is she even doing at a real conference? Mia, can you do me a favor? Get more pictures of them. I need them as evidence. You got it. I looked at my tiny daughter and made up my mind. I dialed my father's number. Dad. The word had barely left my lips before the tears started falling. I hadn't spoken to my parents in years. To be with Julian, I had defied them, leaving my home and career behind for a man who was now destroying me. I was once a brilliant surgeon, just as renowned as Julian. For love, I gave up a promotion to follow him to a new city. For him, I quit my job entirely to raise our child. Dad, I'm so sorry. I wept uncontrollably. After a long silence, a heavy sigh came from the other end of the line. Is he not treating you well? I'm sorry, Dad. I've disappointed you both so much. No matter what, you are our daughter, he said, his voice thick with emotion. He hesitated. Do you want to come home? I knew how selfish I had been. They had only one child, and I had cut them off for a man. I can't go back. Why not? Is he stopping you? No. It's my daughter. She's in the hospital. I wiped my tears. Dad, I need you and Mom to come here, to help me with her. There's something I have to do. After hanging up, I immediately bought them 2 plane tickets. I couldn't trust anyone else with Lily now. Staring at the stream of intimate photos my friend was sending, my hatred reached its peak. Julian. Luna. I will make you both pay. You really enjoy watching your husband kiss another woman, don't you? Owen was beside me again. He swiped through the photos on my screen. Tisk, TSK. My eyes are burning. Embarrassed, I turned off the screen. Owen, what are you doing here? He held up a takeout bag. You haven't eaten. I brought you dinner. A warmth spread through my chest. Thank you. I opened the bag. And dessert? Sweets are good for lifting the spirits, Owen said meaningfully. You should take a picture and post it. I wasn't in the mood, but he insisted. Reluctantly, I snapped a photo. My caption read at Dr. Owen, "Thanks for the cake, brother. I love it." Almost immediately, my phone rang. It was Julian. I was surprised. Owen, however, looked like he'd been expecting it. Go on, answer it. I picked up the phone. Julian's furious voice assaulted my ear. Claire, have you lost your mind? Are you trying to provoke Luna? I'm warning you, stop using these pathetic little tricks. It only makes me despise you more. Delete that post. Now. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. Are you insane? I post a picture, and it has nothing to do with you. Shouldn't you be with your mistress instead of harassing me? You're just jealous that I bought Luna a cake, aren't you? He sneered. You already have so much. Why do you have to take this from her too? I scrolled through my feed. Sure enough, the post right above mine was a selfie from Luna, holding a cake and smiling brightly. The man beside her was unmistakably my husband. Well, it seems she has the same taste in men as I do, I said coldly. Why shouldn't we have the same taste in dessert? My detached tone infuriated him. Watch your mouth, Claire. My relationship with Luna is innocent. Don't let me hear you slander her again. I scoffed. She wants to be a whore and have a monument erected in her honor. There was a dead silence, and then Julian's voice came back, colder than I had ever heard it. If Lily grows up to be as bitter and cruel as you, I wish she had died on that operating table. My mind went blank. The world dissolved into a roaring static. A chilling numbness spread from my core to the tips of my fingers and toes. The last thing I heard before my consciousness faded was a frantic voice calling my name. Claire. Owen lunged forward, catching Claire as she crumpled. He guided her head between her knees, forcing her to breathe. The man's angry voice was still shouting from the phone. Claire. Who's with you? Why is there a man's voice? If you dare cheat on me, I will kill you. Owen coolly ended the call. Furious, Julian threw his phone across the room. That woman. She's with another man. Luna rushed to his side. Julian, did I make Claire angry by asking you to come with me? She asked, her delicate face a perfect picture of concern. She must have found another man just to spite you. Maybe you should go back to her. She was only pretending to be understanding. She knew that every time she said this, it only fueled Julian's anger. But this time, Julian was silent for a long moment, which unnerved her. Julian? What's wrong? The conference is over, he said finally. Let's go back. Luna was disappointed but forced a smile. Okay, Julian. Claire has a temper, but I'm sure if you just talk to her, she'll forgive you. Thanks to Owen's quick thinking, I came to. My parents arrived at the hospital early the next morning. It was the first time they had ever seen their granddaughter. After explaining everything to them, I knew I had to go home. As I reached the front door, I heard voices from inside. Julian, your marriage certificate is so ugly. It was Luna's voice, dripping with false sweetness. You're so handsome, but Claire's smile is so awkward. You can even see her gums. The sound of footsteps. And this wedding photo is terrible too. Claire really isn't photogenic. Look at the camera, Julian. Say cheese. Haha, see? My casual snapshot looks so much more natural. I heard my husband's indulgent reply. Yes. You're much more beautiful than she is. Oh, Julian, you're awful. What if Claire gets jealous? She won't. The key in my hand felt like ice. I wasn't even dead yet, and the mistress had already moved in. Julian, I don't like this photo, Luna whined. Let's print our picture and hang it up instead. All right. That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. I threw the door open. My. I smelled something foul from a mile away, I said, sniffing the air dramatically. Turns out it's just top-shelf green tea. Julian looked flustered for a moment. Luna was just here to rest. Don't make a big deal out of it. I pointed a trembling finger at our wedding photo, lying shattered on the floor. This is just resting? It's a good thing I came back when I did. A few more minutes and you two would have had your clothes off. Julian's face darkened. Claire, you're acting like a shrew. A shrew. He was the one who said he loved me, who called me gentle. Now he was calling me a shrew. Fine. I would show him a shrew. I lunged at Luna, grabbing a fistful of her hair and slapping her hard across the face. You shameless homewrecker. How dare you? Come into my house. I slammed her head against the floor and kicked her repeatedly in the stomach. I'll kill you, you bitch. Ah. Luna screamed in pain. Julian, help me. Claire's gone insane. I'm insane? You're the one who's insane, trespassing in my home. I'm calling the police. Luna covered her face. This is Julian's house. I'm his guest, she shrieked. I'll expose you for treating a guest this way. Expose me? I laughed. Go ahead. I dragged her towards the door. Let's let the neighbors see for themselves which one of us should be ashamed. My husband invites a single woman to our home while I'm away. Let's see whose side they take. Panic flashed across Luna's face. No. Why not? Suddenly you care about your reputation? I pulled her hair harder. Today, I'll let everyone know that I've officially welcomed the second wife into our home. Luna shrieked and fought back, our bodies tangling in a messy heap. Enough. Julian's icy voice cut through the chaos, pulling us apart. I collapsed onto the floor, panting. He cradled the weeping Luna, whispering comforting words. He looked at me with disgust. Claire. How many times do I have to tell you? There is nothing between Luna and me. You just had to make a scene and ruin everything. He held Luna protectively. If you keep this up, I'll divorce you. A bitter smile played on my lips. This was the man I had dedicated my life to. Fine, I said. Let's get a divorce. A flicker of panic crossed Julian's eyes before he masked it with anger. Do you know what you're saying? I stood up, looking fearlessly at the tall man who I once believed would be my shelter from the storm. Now, looking at the woman he protected behind him, I realized he was the storm. I said, let's get a divorce. Slap. Julian stared at his trembling hand, a look of confusion on his face. No, Claire, I didn't mean to. He pressed his lips together. This is your fault. Stop threatening me with divorce. I'll pretend I didn't hear you this time. If you say it again, I'm done with you. Huh. I touched my stinging cheek and slapped him back, hard. Julian, get a grip. It is I, Claire, who is done with you. Luna shrieked as if her own father had died. Claire. How could you hit him? You call yourself a wife? She cradled Julian's face, her eyes filled with heartache. Julian was still in shock, unable to believe that his loving, obedient wife had struck him. You don't deserve to be Julian's wife. Luna screamed. Look at you. You're a mess. If I were him, I would have left you long ago. He still supports you, and instead of being grateful, you assault him. I looked at the well-dressed Julian and the disheveled but still perfectly made-up Luna. Then I caught my reflection in a glass cabinet. My eyes were dull, my hair a mess, and my loungewear was wrinkled from days of wear. Julian, I asked, my voice flat. Is that how you see me, too? He jutted out his jaw. You've changed, Claire. I burst out laughing. I've changed? I've changed? Don't you forget, Julian, I was a genius surgeon too. I gave up my career for you. I became this way for you, for this family. I was the campus beauty, and you've turned me into a joke. Tears streamed down my face as I laughed. Since you two are so in love, I'll bow out. Julian, let's get a divorce. Julian's gaze flickered away. You're not thinking clearly today. Luna, let's go. He pulled a reluctant Luna out of the house, his face grim. On the drive, Julian was distracted. He barely responded to Luna's attempts at conversation. Staring at the road ahead, a wave of irritation washed over him. Claire wanted a divorce? No, that was impossible. They had a child. She would never leave Lily. He drove quickly to the hospital. After settling Luna down, he asked a nurse, "Which room is Lily in?" The nurse rolled her eyes so far back he thought they might get stuck. 402. Julian noticed that all of his colleagues were treating him coldly. Even the interns who used to respect him now turned their heads away. "Lily," he said, forcing a smile as he entered the room. Two elderly people were playing with his daughter. His face stiffened. "Father, mother." "Don't call us that," Claire's father said coldly, turning his back on him. Feeling snubbed, Julian approached the bed and stroked his daughter's head. "Daddy's here to see you." He examined the sutures on her tiny body. The surgery was a success. "Lily will be better soon. It's all thanks to Dr. Luna." At the mention of her name, Lily promptly vomited all over him. Her grandparents jumped up, calling for a nurse and ushering Julian out of the room. "I'm a doctor." Julian protested, trying to get back in. "Lily is my daughter, I need to check on her." Lily started crying. "No, Daddy. No, Daddy, I'm scared." A nurse scooped her up. "It's okay, sweetie, it's okay. Dr. Owen will be here any second." "What's wrong with Lily?" Owen pushed past Julian and began examining the child with his stethoscope. "It's all right. No major issues." Owen breathed a sigh of relief. Julian stood in the doorway, his face a mask of humiliation. His own daughter was rejecting him for another man. He strode forward and punched Owen in the face. "This is my daughter. What right do you have to treat her?" Owen wiped a smear of blood from his lip with his thumb. "The right I earned when I saved her life." "You're even trying to steal credit for this?" Julian sneered. "I bet you didn't get your promotion through legal means either." Julian had always been bitter about losing his last promotion to Owen, and now he had a chance to lash out. "I'm sure all your achievements were stolen from someone else." Owen smiled. "Whether I've stolen credit from others is debatable. But I can assure you, I wouldn't dare steal credit from Luna, the infamous angel of death of the surgical department." "You." Julian grabbed his collar. "Stop." The vice president of the hospital arrived with the medical affairs department. "Julian, what are you doing? Do you realize you've broken the law?" Julian reluctantly let go of Owen and straightened his clothes. "Sir, Dr. Owen is trying to steal credit from the lead surgeon. I was merely standing up for what's right." The vice president's face was grim. "Don't worry, no one is going to steal her credit. Come with us." "What?" Julian was stunned. "Why?" Dr. Luna was not qualified to be in that operating room. Her incompetence nearly caused a fatal accident. As her sponsor, you bear the primary responsibility. Julian looked back at Lily, who turned her head away. "But I checked on her. The surgery was perfect. I guided Dr. Luna through every step. I trust my own technique." A muscle twitched in the vice president's jaw. "Perhaps your own surgical privileges need to be reviewed." After you two left, it was Dr. Owen who came in and saved the day. "I don't care about your private life, Julian, but don't you care about your own daughter?" Julian's lips trembled, but he couldn't find any words. The vice president waved his hand, and two men from medical affairs forcibly escorted Julian away. "I had already filed for divorce through my lawyer. By the time I arrived at the hospital, the drama was over. I found Owen playing with Lily and bowed to him." "I'm so sorry. You got dragged into this again." The cut on his lip was still fresh and looked painful. "It's fine. I was just sticking up for Lily." He smiled. "If you really want to thank me, you can treat me to dinner after Lily is discharged." "Of course," I said gratefully. "I'll treat you to the best meal in town." The malpractice incident was too significant to ignore. The hospital moved to fire Luna, but Julian intervened. "If Luna goes, I go with her." Julian was The best surgeon at City First Hospital, and the administration was reluctant to lose him. With Julian's ultimatum, they had no choice but to back down. When I saw Luna still making her rounds, I was furious. "Julian." I stormed into his office. "You know everything. And you're still protecting the woman who almost killed our daughter?" He rubbed his temples wearily. "It's over, Claire. Lily is fine. Don't keep dwelling on it. It wasn't easy for Luna to get her doctorate. If she leaves the hospital, her career will be ruined." "Her career will be ruined?" "My career was already ruined by you." His face hardened. "That was your choice. Don't blame me for it. And even if you had stayed, there was no guarantee you would have been promoted." I laughed bitterly. "My promotion was already approved. It was you, Julian. You begged me to come here with you. You could have said no." It felt as though I had lost the ability to speak. A profound sense of powerlessness washed over me. All my sacrifices, all my devotion, meant nothing to him. They were just shackles he had to bear. Julian pushed a document towards me. "Stop this nonsense. I'm not divorcing you." It was the court summons. "Julian," I said, a new idea forming. "Do you really want Luna to be your mistress forever, with no official title?" His expression didn't change. "We are just friends." I held up my phone and smiled. Let's see if anyone else believes that. Before coming to his office, I had forwarded all the photos to a group chat for their department, a group a friendly nurse had added me to. Julian's face went pale. "Claire." His phone started ringing. As he began to frantically explain himself, I turned and walked out, a feeling of satisfaction blooming in my chest. In the days that followed, the story of Dr. Jiang and Dr. Luna's affair became the talk of the hospital. People looked at me with pity, but I didn't care. I was disappointed, however, that it was considered a private matter and resulted in no official punishment. "Claire, get ready for a good show," Owen's voice came through the phone. "What's going on?" I asked, confused. My recent efforts had been like pinpricks, annoying but not truly harming them. "Luna is about to be in big trouble." "What happened?" "Your mother-in-law, Julian's mother, is having surgery at our hospital." I knew about this. She had a breast condition, and Owen was the best specialist in the city. "Weren't you supposed to do her surgery?" He laughed. "Since Julian was able to sponsor Luna, I figured I could too. I arranged for her to perform the surgery." I was shocked. "And she actually did it?" "Not only did she do it, she dismissed her surgical assistant, claiming they were distracting her." Owen snorted. "I don't know where she gets her confidence. Her technique is abysmal." This was a complex procedure, and she opened the chest wall immediately, causing massive hemorrhaging. Several teams of specialists went in, but no one could clean up her mess. My hand tightened on the phone. "What are you saying?" I held my breath, waiting for the verdict. "They couldn't save her." The phone slipped from my grasp and clattered to the floor. My feelings were a confusing mess. I was never close to my mother-in-law, our relationship existing solely because of Julian. But hearing of her death was still a shock. That shock was quickly followed by a wave of cold fear. If it hadn't been for Owen, my Lily could have suffered the same fate. "Claire? Are you still there?" I picked up the phone. "I'm here, Owen. But will this get you into trouble?" "Julian already set the precedent when he sponsored Luna," Owen said calmly. "They have no grounds to blame me now." I saw Julian rushing out of the hospital and getting into his car. I smiled grimly. "So, Julian, now that the fire is burning your own house down, you finally feel the heat, don't you?" Later, a nurse told me that Julian had gone to City Second Hospital and wept over his mother's body. He had tried to attack Owen, his eyes red with rage. "You quack. You murdered my mother. I'm calling the police." Someone gently reminded him it was Dr. Luna who performed the surgery. Julian looked at Luna in disbelief. She was sobbing hysterically. "Julian, I didn't mean to." In the end, security had to drag Julian away. As they pulled him back, he managed to land a vicious kick on Luna's wrist, the same foot he had used to crush my hand. Luna would never be able to hold a scalpel again. I held Lily close, my body trembling with a fierce, vindictive joy. The heavens had eyes, after all. The wicked always get what they deserve. Julian was determined to send Luna to prison, taking her to court. I attended the trial. Julian looked at me, his eyes filled with a mixture of pain and regret. His lawyer was good, and it seemed Luna was about to be sentenced when I passed a file to her attorney. The lawyer's eyes lit up. Objection. Because Julian had also covered for Luna in the past, the case ended in a stalemate. Afterward, a defeated Julian blocked my path. Claire, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? I see her for who she is now. I promise I will only love you from now on. I laughed. Instead of wasting your breath on me, you should probably pay your lawyer's retainer. He looked confused. Luna has plenty of dirt on you, I explained. The color drained from his face, and he quickly ran after her. The next time I saw Julian, it was in a detention center. His talk with Luna had not gone well. He had slit her throat with a scalpel. They found her in time to save her life, but due to massive blood loss, Luna was now in a vegetative state. Julian was arrested for attempted murder. I don't know how it all ended up like this, he said, shaking his head, a broken man. He gripped the bars of his cell, his eyes wild. Claire. Claire. You'll wait for me, won't you? We still have Lily. I promise, when I get out, I'll be a good husband and father. We can still be a happy family. Owen came up behind me and wrapped an arm around my waist. He smiled. First of all, you're not getting out. And second, he leaned in and kissed my forehead, we're already a happy family. I didn't pull away. I leaned into his embrace, silently accepting our new reality. Watching the caged animal that Julian had become being restrained by the guards, I exhaled a breath I felt I'd been holding for 5 years. Julian refused to grant the divorce, but it was no longer up to him. The story of the famous Dr. Jiang, his affair with Dr. Luna, and the violent aftermath was public knowledge. As the party at major fault, the court would undoubtedly grant my petition. All I had to do was wait for the judgment to become final, and I would be free of this man forever. Outside the detention center, I turned to Owen. You've helped me again. He looked at me, his eyes full of a deep, unwavering affection. So, Claire. Are we a happy family? A blush crept up my neck, and I turned my head away, but a smile touched my lips. Yes.